Okay, let's unpack this. Google I/O 2025. It felt like just a huge, relentless cascade of news, didn't it?
It really did. Almost overwhelming.
Yeah, but think of this as your expertly guided tour through the most significant developments. We're here to sort of surface the truly interesting bits and explain why they might actually matter to you.
Exactly. We've waded through Google's official announcements, plus The Verge's pretty comprehensive summary of the keynote.
Right.
Our mission is, well, straightforward. Cut through the noise, highlight the core advancements, and really focus on how Gemini is evolving and getting deeply integrated across the Google ecosystem.
It feels like this year's I/O was Google laying the groundwork for a, well, truly AI-powered future.
Definitely. And Gemini is right at the heart of it all, so let's explore how this vision is actually starting to take shape.
Okay, so with this flood of info, where do we even start? It seems like the real engine driving a lot of this is the next generation of Gemini itself.
That's spot on. We saw the unveiling of Gemini 2.5 Flash and Pro.
Right, Flash and Pro.
And interestingly, there's a clear emphasis on boosting their reasoning, their coding abilities, and also the capacity to handle much, much longer context windows.
So they're becoming more versatile.
Significantly more versatile across a whole range of tasks, yeah.
And it sounds like they're aiming for a bit more transparency, maybe, like being more of an open book with how these models operate, these thought summaries.
Precisely. Both Flash and Pro now offer these thought summaries. It gives you a clearer window into the model's internal sort of reasoning process.
Okay.
It's really about making these powerful AI tools more transparent.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Plus, the introduction of thinking budgets, that's a pretty smart way to give users more control, more granular control, over balancing cost and speed.
Okay, so you can basically fine-tune it, like
Yeah.
prioritize rapid responses or go for the most comprehensive analysis.
Exactly, gives you that choice.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, this deep think mode for 2.5 Pro, that sounds like it's really pushing the boundaries. Tackling a seriously complex problem solving, like that USAMO 2025 benchmark they mentioned.
Yeah, and what's remarkable here isn't just about getting the right answer to, say, advanced math problems. It's about the journey the AI takes to get there.
The process.
Right. For researchers, this level of deep reasoning could potentially unlock new avenues of discovery, maybe surfacing non-obvious connections in huge data sets.
So it's not just for mathletes then.
No. It's currently being tested with a select group, which, seems like a sensible approach for such cutting-edge capabilities.
Definitely. And then there's Gemini Diffusion, apparently generating images incredibly fast.
Indeed. Gemini Diffusion is their new experimental text diffusion model.
Okay, explain text diffusion quickly.
Essentially, it learns to generate images by starting with visual noise, like static, and gradually refining it based on the text prompt you give it.
Yeah.
And the fact that this new model is reportedly 5 times faster than their previous fastest, while keeping strong coding performance, that means creators can iterate on visual ideas much, much more rapidly.
Wow, 5 times. The pace of innovation here is almost dizzying, isn't it?
It really is.
Makes you wonder how these rapid advancements will actually impact our daily lives in, say, the next few years.
Yeah, it's moving fast.
And before we move on from this next-gen Gemini core, it's reassuring to hear they're putting a strong emphasis on security with Gemini 2.5.
Absolutely. According to their white paper, this is their most secure model family to date, which is essential, really, as these models get more deeply integrated into our digital lives.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, so Gemini is becoming significantly smarter, faster, more secure. Now let's shift focus to this idea of Gemini evolving into a, what did they call it? A universal AI assistant. They seem to have a pretty ambitious vision here.
They really do. The evolution of Project Astra into Gemini Live is a huge piece of this.
Right, Astra becomes live.
Yeah, and the ability to use your camera and share your screen directly within the Gemini app on both Android and iOS, that really starts to bring that concept of a world model to life.
Where the AI can understand and interact with your physical and digital environment in real time.
Exactly.
Yeah, I saw that demo, the one with the garbage truck versus the convertible. It was pretty clear Gemini has a good grasp of real-world concepts, maybe even a bit of wit.
It seemed like it. And the fact that they're planning to weave this into apps we use constantly, calendar, maps, keep, tasks, that feels like a fundamental shift in how we'll interact with our devices.
Yeah, it moves beyond just asking a question.
Right. And interestingly, this integration has potential for incredibly seamless interactions.
Yeah.
Imagine pointing your camera at like an event flyer,
Okay.
and having Gemini not only recognize it, but also offer to add it straight to your calendar with all the relevant details, location, time, everything.
That would be genuinely useful. Exactly. And then there's agent mode within the Gemini app.
Right, agent mode.
Automating tasks like searching for apartments on Zillow, even coordinating tours. That's moving into genuinely helpful, almost proactive assistance.
It really is. For someone, maybe struggling to find time for apartment hunting, this kind of automation could be a real game changer.
Totally.
Yeah.
How does that work behind the scenes?
Well, this functionality leverages Project Mariner. That's its ability to interact with web content and something called the Model Context Protocol,
Okay.
which is basically a secure and intelligent way for Gemini to talk to other online services. So it can, for example, understand the info Zillow provides about apartments and then act on it.
Makes sense.
The experimental version coming soon to subscribers is definitely something to keep an eye on.
For sure. And this personal context feature.
Yeah.
The idea that Gemini models can, with your permission and control,
Big caveat there, yeah.
right, access data from your other Google apps to offer more tailored experiences, like those smart replies in Gmail that actually sound like you.
Yeah, that's both compelling and, well, it does raise some interesting questions.
About privacy.
Exactly. This indeed raises an important point about user privacy and control, which Google emphasizes will be firmly in the user's hands.
As it should be.
The potential for more relevant, personalized AI interactions is significant, but building and maintaining user trust, ensuring transparency, that's going to be absolutely crucial.
Definitely. Okay, so Gemini is becoming this aware, almost perceptive assistant that understands your context. Now, let's dive into how they're fundamentally rethinking search with AI. This AI mode sounds like a pretty significant departure.
It really is. The fact that users are apparently already formulating search queries that are 2 to 3 times longer and more complex in this AI mode, that suggests a real evolution in how people are seeking information.
Moving beyond just quick facts.
Exactly. Moving beyond those quick factual lookups towards more in-depth exploration, asking more complex questions.
And they're expanding the reach of AI overviews massively now, right? Over 200 countries and territories.
Yeah, which means a huge portion of the global internet user base will soon be experiencing this AI-powered search.
And the personalization aspect here, where it can draw on your past searches, even your Gmail content again, with your permission.
Always with permission, yeah.
That's all about making the search results far more relevant to your specific needs at that moment.
Right. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's about search evolving. It's
Where?
moving from just being a repository of information to offering more intelligent, even proactive assistance in navigating all that information.
And the ability for users to opt in and manage those connections is key.
Absolutely key for user confidence.
Now, deep search. That sounds like something I could personally find incredibly useful. Expert level, cited reports generated in minutes.
Yeah, the sports analyst example they gave was pretty persuasive, wasn't it? Pulling together batting averages, home run stats, all that.
It was.
What's fascinating here is the AI's capability to synthesize information from loads of different sources and present it in a structured, insightful, and importantly, cited manner.
The citations are crucial.
Very. And the upcoming ability to perform complex analysis and data visualization for areas like sports and finance, that could be a significant advantage for, certain professional users.
I can see that. And it seems Project Mariner's agent capabilities are showing up everywhere, even within search, helping with practical tasks like finding affordable tickets.
Yeah, that example of finding tickets for a Reds game felt very grounded in real-world utility.
It did.
This really highlights the potential for AI to move beyond just providing information and to actively work on your behalf to get tasks done more efficiently.
Like a proper assistant. And just when you think they've covered all the angles for search, they introduce Search Live, bringing those real-time camera, visual understanding capabilities into the search experience itself.
Yeah, it's almost like having a visual interactive consultation with the internet.
That's a good way to put it.
It truly pushes the boundaries of what search can be, moving towards a far more immersive conversational way of finding and understanding information.
And then the virtual clothing try-on feature, using your own photos to see how clothes will actually look on you.
Right, with the AI even understanding how different fabrics drape and stretch, that's some seriously impressive visual AI work.
It sounds it. And the price drop notifications, the option for AI-assisted checkout with Google Pay, that's taking online shopping to a whole new level of convenience.
Assuming you're comfortable with the tech handling those aspects, of course.
True.
But what's significant here is the fusion of really sophisticated image generation with practical e-commerce applications. The AI's ability to understand the nuances of fabric and fit. That's a complex technical challenge they seem to be tackling pretty effectively.
Okay, all right. So we've covered smarter AI models, a more personalized and proactive assistant, and a fundamentally reimagined search. Now, let's pivot to what seems like a real playground for innovation generative media. Google appears to be heavily invested here.
Oh, absolutely. Images, audio, video,
Uh-huh.
they're going all in. Imagen 4 is the latest in image generation.
Bitch and 4, right.
And the emphasis on accurately rendering text and typography within images is a really notable improvement.
Yeah, that festival poster example with the Chrome Dino, that actually looked good.
It did. And the reported speed increased 10 times faster. That's a game changer for creators who need to rapidly prototype and refine visual ideas.
10 times. Wow. And VO3, with built-in audio generation, creating sound effects, background sounds, even dialogue from scratch.
Yeah, that's quite something. Those examples they play, the They Left Behind a Ball one and the sound of the ocean. You could really appreciate how the AI was adding another whole dimension to the scene.
It wasn't just visuals anymore.
Exactly. The ability to generate not just compelling visuals, but also seamlessly integrated accompanying audio, that opens up a vast new landscape for storytelling, for content creation across all sorts of media.
And LIA2 for generating high-fidelity music with vocals. That's venturing into seriously professional creative territory.
It really is. Making it available for enterprises, YouTube creators, musicians, that just underscores their ambition in this space.
The quality must be getting pretty good then.
Absolutely. The quality of AI-generated music is advancing at an astonishing rate, and LIA2 seems to be right at the cutting edge of that evolution.
Now, with the potential for so much AI-generated content floating around, the introduction of the Synthi detector feels incredibly important.
Oh, definitely.
The ability to identify AI-generated images, audio, text, video through these invisible watermarks.
This is a crucial step. It's about tackling the growing challenges of, provenance and authenticity in the age of increasingly sophisticated generative AI.
We need ways to tell what's real.
Exactly. Rolling this out to early testers is a positive move, a necessary move, really.
And the collaboration with Darren Aronofsky's company, Primordial Soup, to explore AI in filmmaking. That sounds like a truly fascinating partnership.
It does. It signifies a growing recognition, even within the established film industry, of AI's potential, not just as a tool for efficiency, but maybe as a genuine partner in artistic expression and innovation.
Interesting way to think about it. Finally, Flow, the new AI filmmaking tool built using VO3 and Imagen.
Right. Aiming to make video creation more accessible. Features like consistent characters, consistent scenes.
That example of the flying car with the grandpa and the chicken was certainly memorable.
Yes, memorable is one word for it. But Flow seems specifically designed to lower the technical barriers to video creation, letting users bring their creative visions to life more easily.
Even if those visions involve flying cars and concerned poultry.
Apparently so. Even with complex elements like keeping characters looking the same across different scenes, that's actually quite tricky.
I bet. Okay, so from generating individual images and audio to full-on filmmaking tools, Google is clearly making a huge bet on the future of generative media. Now let's think about the people actually building with this stuff. What's new for developers?
Yeah, there were several significant announcements for the developer community. Updates to Gemini Code Assist, for one. It's now generally available for individual devs, integrated with GitHub, and it's all powered by Gemini 2.5. That should lead to a noticeable improvement in coding workflows.
Faster coding, fewer bugs, hopefully.
That's the goal. And Jules, the autonomous coding agent, has now entered public beta.
Jules, right, the agent that can handle more complex tasks, like updating entire code bases.
Exactly. That sounds like a potentially enormous time saver for development teams.
I can imagine.
Jules represents a really significant step towards more autonomous AI agents that can tackle substantial, complex development tasks. The public beta phase will be critical for getting real-world feedback, refining its capabilities.
Makes sense. They also mentioned new tools in Firebase.
Yeah, highlighted new developer tools within Firebase aimed at accelerating the whole app development lifecycle, which is always welcome news for anyone building apps.
Always good to speed things up. And Gemma 3N Preview, their latest open source model.
Right, with a strong focus on flexibility and expanded multimodal capabilities, specifically for mobile devices.
So AI on your phone, essentially.
Yeah, Gemma 3N underscores Google's ongoing commitment to open source AI. and they're focused on bringing powerful AI capabilities directly to mobile platforms, with a strong emphasis on user privacy and on-device processing too.
That on-device part is interesting, and for those operating in the cloud.
Well, Gemini 2.5 Flash and Pro, along with that whole new suite of generative AI media models, Veo 3, Imagen 4, Lyria 2, they're all being made available through Vertex AI.
So easily accessible for businesses using Google Cloud.
Pretty much. It makes these cutting-edge AI capabilities readily accessible to enterprises and developers building on the Google Cloud platform. And the inclusion of those thinking summaries on Vertex AI for the Gemini 2.5 models, that's particularly valuable for enterprise users who need to understand the why behind AI outputs.
Right, the transparency again. Finally, they announced enhancements to the Agents ADK and Agent Engine. What's that about?
This seems to be all about making it easier, more efficient to build those intelligent AI agents we've been talking about.
The ones that can do tasks for you.
Exactly. These tools are designed to streamline the whole process of creating and deploying sophisticated AI agents that can interact with the world, perform tasks autonomously, bringing that universal assistant vision closer to reality for developers to build upon.
Got it. All right, so a wealth of new tools and resources for developers. Now let's shift gears again. Let's talk about some of the tangible devices and experiences that were unveiled. Google Beam sounds pretty revolutionary.
Yeah, the evolution of Project Starline, it's aiming for truly immersive 3D video communication.
Like you're really in the room with the other person.
That's the idea, using multiple cameras, advanced AI to render participants in 3 dimensions, creating a far more natural, lifelike video call experience.
And they're partnering with HP for devices this year.
Yeah, a partnership with HP to bring early devices to market this year, that's a significant step towards making this tech actually, real.
Definitely something to watch. And real-time speech translation directly in Google Meet.
Huge potential there. Initially supporting English and Spanish, with more languages on the horizon.
That could be a massive step forward in breaking down language barriers, especially for global teams.
Absolutely. The planned rollout to both individual subscribers and eventually enterprise users could significantly impact global collaboration and just general understanding.
Now, Android XR. This is the big push to bring Gemini to augmented and virtual reality, right? Glasses and headsets.
Exactly. And the collaborations with industry giants like Samsung and Qualcomm seem absolutely crucial here.
You need the hardware partners.
You do. Android XR is their dedicated platform for these immersive experiences, and these strategic partnerships are essential for building a robust hardware ecosystem that can really leverage Gemini's capabilities in XR.
Samsung's Project Muhan headset with Gemini built in. The idea of an infinite virtual screen AI assistance right there in the XR environment.
Yeah, that Google Maps example they showed sounded incredibly useful, navigating while seeing the directions overlaid on your view. This offers a compelling glimpse into the potential of XR tech for both productivity and just accessing information, with AI acting as this intuitive, always available assistant within that immersive space.
But the Android XR glasses prototype, that really caught my attention.
Mine too.
Lightweight, camera, microphones, speakers, optional in-lens display, and connecting to your phone for truly hands-free AI experiences.
Yeah, Nisha's backstage demo at I/O really brought the potential of this to life, didn't it?
It really did. And partnering with established eyewear brands like Gentle Monster and Warby Parker right out of the gate.
That strongly suggests they're taking the design and, importantly, the everyday wearability aspects very seriously.
It can't just be tech, it has to look good too.
Exactly. The clear emphasis on a lightweight, stylish design, combined with partnerships with recognized eyewear brands, it signals a commitment to making these glasses both technologically advanced and, crucially, socially acceptable for everyday use.
Yeah. The practical applications she showed, searching based on what she was seeing, recalling details from conversations, navigating hands-free, that really highlights the transformative potential.
It does. And they're not stopping with glasses and headsets either.
Right. Plans to bring Gemini integration to watches, car dashboards, even TVs.
It truly feels like their goal is AI everywhere.
It really does.
The overarching ambition is clearly to make Gemini a truly ubiquitous, indispensable assistant that seamlessly integrates into pretty much all aspects of your digital and even physical life.
Wow. Okay, finally, let's touch on how users will actually access all this enhanced AI power. The new subscription plans, Google AI Pro and Google AI Ultra.
Right. These new subscription tiers are designed to offer different levels of access to Google's most advanced AI models and a range of premium features.
So Pro gets you more.
Google AI Pro provides higher usage limits, some exclusive features, and that's available globally.
And Ultra.
Ultra offers even higher limits, plus early access to cutting-edge features like DeepThink and Flow with VO3.
Ah, the early access hook.
Exactly. Plus additional benefits like YouTube Premium, expanded cloud storage. Ultra is launching initially in the US with a global rollout planned later.
Okay. So it seems that to experience the absolute cutting edge, the highest performance levels of Google's AI, a subscription will likely be required.
That appears to be the model, yes.
Okay, so we've covered a tremendous amount of ground in a relatively short time. What's your overall take, the big picture significance of all these announcements?
Well, the central takeaway for me is that Google is making a very aggressive, very comprehensive push to integrate more powerful, more versatile AI with Gemini right at the core across its entire suite of products and platforms.
It feels like a unified push.
It does. The underlying vision is clearly to move towards a future where AI isn't just a tool we occasionally use, but a truly universal assistant, one that can deeply understand, seamlessly interact with, and ultimately augment our experience in really profound and pervasive ways.
Right. And we certainly hope this deep dive has given you, the listener, a much clearer understanding of the most significant, the most impactful news coming out of Google I/O 2025.
Absolutely. Our goal was really to filter out some of that noise and provide you with a focused, insightful look at the key advancements and, their potential implications for the future.
So here's a final thought to maybe chew on. Reflect on how this increasingly pervasive integration of AI might fundamentally reshape not just your interactions with technology, but perhaps even your relationship with the world around you in the coming years.
Yeah, it's not just about slightly smarter apps anymore, is it?
No. It feels like it's about the potential for a fundamentally new kind of interaction with the technology that surrounds us every single day. Something to think about.